Hello, I'm here. Everything's going good. I turned down the music right away this time. I'm remembering. I gotta turn down the music because it's always super blaring loud for some reason. I'd love to just turn down the desktop audio channel on Ko-Fi, but then that turns down the volume of everything else too. Like, if I'm playing a game or something, if I turn that down, well then the game's super quiet too. So I gotta specifically go into the volume on the YouTube video and turn that down, and I keep forgetting. And then everyone's like, Jesus Christ! Turn it down! Anyways, hello everybody. How are you all doing? I'd say I'm doing alright. As we speak. Can I not see my beautiful chat? There we go. My beautiful members. All here to see me talk about the new Peak Pyre. I saw it on Monday. I saw the new Empire on Monday for the first time. Technically. If some of you already know this, but like prior to the movie coming out and when it came out, I really did not care about leaks. I looked at everything I possibly could because I needed a reason to want to watch this movie. Because everything that was officially being teased sure as heck wasn't hyping me up. But then all the stuff that's actually in the movie that's a million times cooler, I'm like, okay, now I know that's in the movie. Now I want to watch it. Thank you. This stream shouldn't be too long compared to the norm. If it is, then so be it. I want to get all of these done in one stream, but as I figured out, I ramble a lot. And then we get like nothing done in our streams. So who knows? Maybe this one will take a while. We'll figure it out. I know the new Empire is going to be a pretty big conversation, and that's literally the last one, so we'll see how that goes. If things get very dire, we will make this a two-parter or something. I don't know. We'll have to see how far we get here. But I'm going to see if I can get these all done. But at the same time, I don't want to brush past a movie and just go, oh, this one? Oh, S, okay, whatever, I don't care. Like, no, I want to go in depth with each movie and why I'm putting them where I think they are. I don't want to just go, this, why? One sentence, done, next movie. I don't want to do that. I want to go into these films, show you how I view these movies compared to how maybe you view them, or maybe how other people view them. I want to I want you all to dive into my mind and see how I perceive these films. Also, wait a minute. I can probably... How do you zoom in without the thing? There's got to be a hotkey for this. Okay, hold on. Screw the hotkey. I'm just going to do this like that. Boop. There we go. It's a bit more zoomed in now. This should work. Yeah, I guess I'll... Wait, is GojiFan93 doing this exact same thing as we speak? Like, literally right now? Holy shit, is he? I didn't even know that. I promise I'm not copying you, GojiFan. Hold on, give me a second. Are you doing this right now? Holy shit, you are! You're doing this right now! Oops. I swear to God. I swear to God, I did not know that he was doing this right now. What? Oh, that's awesome. Well, based minds think alike, I guess. I gotta find a way to make mine more... I gotta give I guess maybe just my takes might be different than his. So it'd be like, ooh, this is what he thinks compared to Goji fan. That's crazy. I'm doing this at the exact same time he is, and we're doing the same thing. Is he using the exact same tier list too? Oh my, I need to check real quick. Is he doing the exact same tier list too? Come on. Oh, I don't think he started yet. Oh wait, he did. I just have a mini player on. This video is playing in picture. Why can't I see it? I want to see it. Why can't I see it? I'm just gonna assume that he just started. No, he started 20 minutes ago. Well, damn it. Okay. Well, I'm still doing mine. That's crazy. That is actually funny. How we're both doing them at the same time. Doing the exact same thing. Oh my god. Well, anyways, the Psychro corner is still open for anyone who wants to see this. Or if you're a mad lad and you want to just have both out at the same time, and you just take in two completely different takes at the same time with both sides of your brain. But before we do this, before we just start putting stuff in, I want to name these tiers. I don't want to just go S, A, B, C, D, F. I want to go like in depth into what it means to put them into each tier. So I think it's easy to start with F. With F, well, I want to make it purple first. Whew. I want to call F... F is like very bottom of the barrel. As in, it's so bad that I honestly wish it did not exist at all. It's so bad that I'm like ashamed to have this be a part of my franchise, and I wish it didn't exist. Regardless of its effect, like there's a lot of Godzilla movies that are bad. It's like, oh, this is bad, but without it, we wouldn't have that. I don't care. Just imagine that's not the case, and the things afterwards just happened anyways. Just the thing as itself, I hate so much. I honest to God wish it just didn't exist. Like, honest to God, just did not exist. It is the worst possible situation it could be in. S tier. I'm gonna like go median. I'm gonna start at both polar ends and like make my way towards the middle. The top is gonna be the exact opposite. The greatest films. But at the same time, here's a huge pet peeve I have with tier lists. It's when people make an S tier and they put like over half the list in S tier, and I'm like, okay, well, is S tier really special anymore? Because literally everything's in there. And then it's like, well, yeah, because they're all that good. And I'm like, no, the whole point of that's what A tier is. A tier is supposed to be the best. A tier is these are your greatest options in the tier. But then S is the very, very, very cream of the crop. They're the exceptions. It's like when you get a grade in homework. A is the highest you can get. This is 100%. It did everything great. S is when it just goes that much further, and it's like, oh my god, I can't even describe it. That's what S is. So S is words cannot describe my feelings. That's what that is. And like I just said, A is the best films. They are the best ones. As in, when you do A, you act like this tier doesn't even exist. Act like A is the top, and then afterwards go, okay, these are all the greatest, but like these two are just so much more. It feels wrong to put them in the same tier. So they go up, they ascend to tier heaven, essentially. That's what S should be. It needs to be super duper exceptional and special. It should be one of the smallest tiers for sure. Not everything at the top, because then it's like, okay, what the hell? Everything is godly. Like, no, it's not. I'm putting a limit on this tier. A maximum of 3. I will not put any more than 3 in the top of this one. Anything else that feels like it should be is going in A. Because this is the very exceptional God tier. But like I said with A, these are the best. The best. Yeah, this is the best. Okay, we'll go back down to D. Bottom of the barrel. I wish it did not exist. This one's not as harsh. I don't hate it to the point that I wish it never happened. But I do not. Yeah, I do not like this. I just do not like this film. I could understand why maybe others may like it. I may understand its reason for existing. But good lord, I do not like this movie. I don't like watching it. It's not fun. It sucks. It's dumb. I don't like this movie. Go back up here. The greatest movies in the franchise. They are the cake of this series. Let's bring it back down a tier. These are some great films. These are some great entries. Not the best, but these are some pretty great entries. That seems pretty simple. I can also add more tiers if I want to. I might do that eventually too. And I'm starting to think, yeah, there's no shot we're doing this in one stream. I'm already like 15 minutes in. And I'm only doing this. They're great movies. And now, act like S tier doesn't exist. This is the middle. It's not a positive feeling, but it's not a negative feeling. Or it's both. It's positive and negative. I am indifferent to these movies. They're good, they're bad. They could have really good qualities, but then have a lot of bad ones that cancel it out. They're very... okay, these exist. I have no ill blood towards these movies. You know what? No, I'm changing it. No bad blood. But no passion either. It's not a bad movie per se, but I don't really give it any praise either. It's just kind of... it exists, it's neat. I'll watch it during a marathon. I probably won't ever watch it on my own free time, just that movie on its own, like, oh, I want to watch this movie. No, I'm not going to do that. That's essentially what that one means. Let me color these now. The colors help give off the mood of what this tier represents. Hence why I made this one purple. It's supposed to be dark and sickly, like you're sick. It's gross. It's unhealthy. This is disgusting. The top tier, I'm going to make pure white. It's pure. It's a star at the highest power. It's heavenly. The best, red. I don't know, because it's the top color of the rainbow. These are some great films. I'm going to make it orange. It's because orange is a very warm color. I have a warm feeling towards these movies in this tier. Warm feeling. Not searing hot, but it's a warm feeling. That's why it's orange. No bad blood, but no passion either. I guess green. Green. It's a green check mark. It's not a bad film, but I don't love it either. It passes, though. Green check mark. There you go. I do not like this. Dark. It's another negative feeling tier. I do not like this movie. Ugh. Dark. Gross. My face is turning bluish purple. I don't want to watch this. Alrighty. I think our tiers are good now. I don't think we need to add any more, but we'll add more just in case I have to. But I think this is a good template to start with. What do you all think? Yeah. Okay, you took too long. Okay, I'm starting. Do I want to start with 54? Do I really want to? Because I know that's going to be a hot take right off the bat. Yeah, I guess I'll just go down the line. So, every time I've ever seen someone rank Godzilla movies, their first immediate instinctive thought is just, oh, 54, okay, top, boom, okay, next movie. Like, I'm gonna think about this. It's the first film in the franchise. It popped everything off. It is the best portrayal of human hubris and the punishment of nuclear warfare. It's tragic. It has an actually good story. It's got everything, right? I'm not putting it in the top tier. Don't scout me. Speaking of my scalp, my hair's thinning. I figured that out recently. My hair is thinning a lot. I'm not putting it in C tier. But no, I'm not putting it in S actually. It's certainly not in the bottom 3 for sure. It's too good for those. But here's the thing. When am I ever gonna go, God, I just came home from a long day of work. I'm gonna relax and, man, I love Godzilla. I'm gonna watch a Godzilla movie. What should I do? Oh, hell yeah. Let's watch Godzilla 54. Like, no, I don't want to watch that movie right now. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's a very dark film, which thankfully is what it's trying to do in the first place. And at the same time, I'm kind of being biased here where I'm saying, like, it has to be a movie that I'm going to have fun with watching. But at the same time, I'm not going to base my whole list off of how fun the movie is. But it definitely goes in here, for sure. It's going to go in the best tier, for sure. But the fact that I can't always want to watch it, that is technically a flaw within itself. And like I said, this isn't just I put the favorite ones up here. It is so fucking good that you just can't find a single problem with the film. It is just that enticing. This means it does everything right. And this movie, it does everything right. It got an A. It got full points. So don't think of it as fake fan or disrespect, because I'm not putting it up here. This film passed. It got a perfect score. Congratulations, 54. You just birthed an amazing franchise. Yippee! not wanting to watch it all the time is a flaw, and I did just say it's a perfect score, but the flaw I just mentioned is like a biased flaw. That's a flaw with bias. This tier is for, you can't even find a biased flaw. It's just the best thing ever. And I'm gonna put something up here that does have problems. People are gonna be like, Psychronize, what the fuck? You liar! You're cheating! Yeah. Some of the greatest movies in this franchise aren't popcorn flicks, for sure. And a movie can be up here without being a popcorn flick. It's just, it needs to reach that level of extra, super duper extra zing. Oh, another thing I could mention. This movie's got some great tokusatsu action in it. But at the same time, there is a lot of outdated stuff in this movie that is kind of goofy. Like, the suit looked great in that movie. Like, even till now, those shots look scary, and they give off the effect that they wanted to. But those shots of the puppet really do just break the mood sometimes. Like, when he's attacking Tokyo, the suit's stomping around, dreadful music, people screaming. Holy shit, that's awesome. And then it just cuts to the puppet going... It's like, oh, okay. It's not enough to make it lose points, but it's not in my this movie makes me fall in love tier. So it's going in the best. It is in the best category for Godzilla. Now we come to Raids again, though. The direct sequel. I do not like this movie. I think the first time I watched it was... I think it was on some streaming service or whatever. Like, I just turned on the TV, and it's like that Xfinity thing, so it just has all the movies. It's like, oh, you can watch it on this or whatever. And I think it was streaming on some channel or whatever. And, I don't know, I just watched it. In Japanese subtitles, probably the way you should watch it. And I was expecting, like, oh, Godzilla's back. Oh, there's another monster. Oh, they're gonna fight. Oh my god, this movie's boring. This movie's so fucking boring, you guys. Anyone who says that this movie was awesome hasn't watched the movie, and they just watched the fight on YouTube. Which, unfortunately, is the case for a lot of these movies these days with modern people of the community. Oh, I love that movie. Did you watch that movie? No. Well, I watched the fights on YouTube, so you didn't watch the movie. No? Okay, then go away. But yeah, I actually think I almost fell... I'm pretty sure I did fall asleep watching this movie. I did not watch this movie. It was... I mean, I did not like this movie. I watched it. Even when they do fight. It's not the best. And Gears' design is awesome. But just because the way the monster looks is cool, just because he looks cool, that's not going to make up for every single other part of the movie. Like, oh, and Gears looked cool. Okay, high tier. Okay, well, guess what? The story sucked, the pacing sucked, the choreography sucked. Everything sucked, except for the way Anguirus looked. Like, that's kind of it. That's like if the MCU made the worst fucking movie you could ever imagine. Oh, but Iron Man's suit looked kind of cool in it, so I'll bump that up. Like, no. This was not a good movie. It was not entertaining. I didn't get anything out of it. I just went, oh, look, there's Anguirus' debut. And it built up to the King Kong movie, I guess. So, yeah. But I don't hate it to the point that I wish it never happened. There should be a movie of, oh crap, he's back. And he's fighting a new monster. And Geras being his first opponent seems pretty smart. So, I don't like this movie, but I validate its existence at the same time. Because it had pretty good ideas. It had some good ideas. The main characters being pilots, stuff like that. It was good. But the way... They had a lot of good ideas. Godzilla having a rival. The whole pilot dynamic with the... I think it was a love triangle? I don't know. A lot of good ideas. Every single one of them executed horribly. The bottom tier is bad ideas executed horribly. This is good ideas executed horribly. So, it goes down there. I did not like this movie. King Kong vs. Godzilla, 1962. The original one. Where would I put this movie? Ooh, this is a great film. It's a good movie. I liked it. I didn't fall in love with it. I didn't go, this is a goated film. But I liked it. Surprisingly, I think the monster fights were not the strongest part of the movie. I think the people were actually better. I liked the human story in this movie. Where they go to Skull Island, and they see all the natives, and then they find Kong, and they tranquilize him, and there's the... I don't know anyone's names in these movies. I know like maybe 5 characters' names in these movies. Because I don't know. I just can't keep track of that stuff. If I watched more of these movies often in Japanese, I'd probably know their names more often because then they're there right on the screen going, read this name right now. But it was a good movie. But unfortunately, I honestly think the fights could have been better, even for Showa's suit standards. I did like some of the quirky parts though, like Kong being on his own and like hiding behind the hill. And then he like slowly turns with the oboe music playing. Like that was funny. I don't have as much of a love boner as most people do for the 62 suit. I like it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like this is the greatest Showa suit ever or one of the best or he should have been. Like, it's a good suit. I like a lot of other suits more than it, but I like it. I'll take it. It's neat. Whew. The part where he climbs on the Japanese Capitol building, that seemed kind of forced, but like I get it. It's just supposed to be a cool nod to like, oh yeah, that's right. This is King Kong. I'm like, okay. I'm not gonna dock it points for that because that's dumb, but I like the whole capitalism trope behind it and how it was treated very much like a wrestling match. And it worked. It worked. You can make something like a wrestling match and have it be dumb. But they did it and it worked. It was a very lighthearted, silly movie that really brought both characters back into the spotlight again. So it's a nice movie. It was entertaining. Okay, when I'm ranking these movies, there's something that I'm going to judge every movie by. And if they can pass this, that is a ton of points going to them already. I'll talk with chat. I have to say outlandish, but again, it's gigantic radioactive lizard. So, I don't know. King Kong vs. Godzilla gives the NATO base scene top 5 He did. But what was I going to say? Something I'm going to judge all these movies by. That's right. So I'm going to judge all these movies with a test. And if they can pass said test, that is a ton of bonus points for them. Doesn't grant them any specific tier, but it is a massive points increase to me if they can pass this test. If I put this DVD in the disc player and I watch this movie, am I actually going to sit down and watch the whole movie? Or am I just going to wait until the fights happen, and then as soon as they finish, just go on my phone and wait until the next fight happens? Like, am I actually going to watch this whole movie? Or is it just so boring that I'm going to watch the fights only, and then if the fights are good, I'm going to say this movie's awesome, and just completely disregard, like, the other 7/10 of the film? If I have to completely disregard the other 7/10 of the movie, that's not a good movie. I have to be enticed the whole film. I do. Like, I don't care if the fights are the most iconic things in the franchise. If the fight ends and it goes to the people stuff, and I immediately just stop caring and I go on my phone and I'm like, okay, I'll just wait till the next fight goes on. Hi, Artoria. Yeah, that's not good. I'm not just going to disregard the stuff I don't care about. I'm going to recognize the part that's boring as shit, and I'm going to dock points on the movie for that. So, that matters. And King Kong vs. Godzilla passes that test. I liked the human story. So, that's why that one gets a really good positive rating. Mothra vs. Godzilla passes this test too. I'm reading chat right now. What the hell's happening? Anyways, Mothra vs. Godzilla. This is one of my favorite films in the entire Showa era. It might even be one of the best films, if I think about it for a second. Okay, that second of thought is over. I was correct. It's in the best tier. I'm gonna argue it's better than 54. For me, at least. I'm gonna rank them within the tiers too. So I'm not just gonna slap them on the tier and go, okay, I'm gonna rank them within the tiers too to make things a bit more understandable. If they're farther to the left, if they're the closer they are to the name of the tier, the higher they are. I would argue that Mothra vs. Godzilla is better than 54. I love this movie. This movie perfected the whole versus concept that would continue for the rest of the franchise. I think it's the best film with the versus title in its name. For sure. It portrayed both monsters perfectly. Like, it wasn't a Godzilla story, and then they tried to blend Mothra into it to make sense for Godzilla. And it wasn't a Mothra movie, and then they tried to just, like, they changed Godzilla's lore to make Godzilla work for it. No. It feels exactly like Godzilla from the Godzilla movies and Mothra from the Mothra movie, completely unchanged, meet and fight for a valid reason. They didn't have to make up any new lore like, oh, Mothra and the Godzillas have... No. It is the exact same characters that have a reason to want to fight that makes sense, and it's pulled off amazingly. The pacing of the film, like the human parts of the story, amazing. It's a bit of a retelling, and by a bit I mean a lot of a retelling of the original film, but it has its differences for sure, a lot of them. Mothra's less wrathful towards humanity for sure. I fucking love this movie. It's so fun, but not just fun. It's just unironically good too, aside from the action fun. It is good story writing. It is good pacing. It is a good... It's a amazing film. I love this one. It goes in the best. The music pops off like crazy. Godzilla's theme and Mothra's themes are both absolute bangers, and they blend so well in this movie. Their themes blend just as well as their fights do in the movie. It is such a cream of the crop film. I might even put it up here later, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm not putting anything up here until I'm done entirely. And I will pick out the top 3 gods among this tier. And then put them up here. Speaking of which, you know what I'm going to do? Gone. Gone. I won't even think about it. Pretend that tier just does not exist. And then at the very end, it'll be like, a new challenger has appeared. And then they get boosted up. That's how that's going to work. Are their themes as good as Mechagodzilla's theme? I'd argue yes. But that makes it sound like I hate Mechagodzilla's theme, which is absolutely not the case. That is one of the sexiest themes ever. But again, like I'm saying, I don't think it's the greatest thing in the entire franchise that has been produced. Good fucking lord, it's so awesome though. Godzilla's evil robot doppelganger. You'd think his theme would be more like his theme in the next movie, in Terror of Mechagodzilla, that theme. But they gave him such a colorful, swanky jazz theme. And it works. It's not just like, oh, this is cool because it's jazz and silly. It actually works. Which is why it's sick. I don't know why it does. You could never get that answer out of me. But the jazz theme for him suits him. I have no idea why. It just works. I'm getting emails. My Big Bad Toy Store thing shipped. I got the super action stuff game on accessory set with like the arcade machine and all that stuff. And that just shipped. So yippee. Anyways. Top tier. Mothra vs. Godzilla. It's going up there. Ghidorah the three-headed monster. Okay. Where am I putting this one? I think I know where I'm putting it. Whew. This one's tricky. I feel like it's either top of green or bottom of orange. Like very bottom of orange or top of green. Well, I'll put it in green for now. But later on, when I'm adding more stuff, I'll see where I put it. Personally, late Showa, late Heisei, and entire Millennium are my favorites. So, yeah. Late Showa is definitely my favorite Showa. The early half of Showa is... it's not my favorite. I like to call it Phase 1 and Phase 2. All cinematic universe-y. There's Phase 1, which is... Well, there's 1954. That's just its own thing. I don't count that as a part of the Showa era. I count that as its own film. And then the Showa era begins with Raids Again. Because almost every other timeline also starts with 54. It's like, it's not just a Showa film. It's also technically a Heisei film and a Millennium film and a whatever. It's just the movie. And then every other era branches off of it in some way. So it's the movie. And then the Showa era begins with Raids Again. And now I have it split into 2 phases. Phase 1 and Phase 2. Phase 1 is from Raids Again, and it ends with Destroy All Monsters. That's Phase 1. Phase 2 is essentially the rest. Phase 2 is Godzilla's Revenge all the way to the Terror of Mechagodzilla. Because the second half of Showa it feels so much more different. The 70s movies do not feel the same as the 60s films. They just don't. They feel very different. Whole different mood. And different execution. And I like the 70s movies a lot more. I like phase 2 of the Showa era. But anyways, back to the three-headed monster. The debut of King Ghidorah in the franchise, Godzilla's main rival. Godzilla's first time ever seen as a hero, too. And Rodan's introduction to the Godzilla series. The ultimate team-up and the big four in a movie together for the first time. That sounds like it should be the greatest thing in the universe, right? It's not really. But at the same time, I can't say that this is a bad film. I can't say it's a horrible film, or bad even. But there's nothing about this film that I latch onto that's like, I love this film. Oh, I gotta watch this one again. This is so... There just isn't anything like that. The story is alright. I like it. You guys were just talking about it. I'm trying... Dub changed. They changed her place of origin from Venus to Mars. I'm gonna go with Venus, because that's what I remember it being. I remember her being the Queen of Venus. The lady from Venus disguises herself as a human, comes to Earth to warn humanity that a space dragon named King Ghidorah is going to wipe out Earth, as he just previously wiped out Venus. And he's here now. The asteroid falls. All the people observe the asteroid as it's on the ground. The fire comes out. King Ghidorah's here. Mothra catches up on this and goes, oh shit. Tries to get Godzilla and Rodan. They're just attacking cities and shit. That's what they're doing the whole movie. They're just finding cities and attacking them. They go... Do they go to Infant Island to get Mothra? Or do they just talk to the Shobijin at their stage performance? Anyways, they get Mothra's help. She gets her ass kicked. She needs Godzilla and Rodan's help. And they fight. The fights are alright, I guess. I like that Godzilla and Rodan fight for a bit. It makes me remember that there is no just straight up Godzilla versus Rodan film. Which baffles me. You'd think that would exist by now. Godzilla and Rodan get one-on-one fights in this movie. They get a one-on-one fight in the Heisei Mechagodzilla movie. And then... yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the only time those two ever fight one-on-one. Just you and me. Let's fight. Twice, and it's not even the main part of the movie. They need a movie together. I need a Godzilla vs. Rodan film. I would love it. There's no one-on-one Godzilla Rodan fight. Well, movie. They've done one-on-one twice. I already said them. But, anyways. The story's good, but it's not... I don't love it at the same time. Because then there's those... I'm pretty sure they were other aliens in disguise from, another world or something. Oh, let's kill the queen. I don't care. The whole reason she's here is to just warn us about Ghidorah. Are these minions, Ghidorah's servants? Or, what the hell are they? I don't care about these space terrorists trying to kill the queen. The queen's only here to warn us about Ghidorah. I don't need her whole story of being royalty and being hunted down, and then the main character's like, oh, we'll protect you, and that part was not good. I did not like that part of the movie, and that's a lot of the film's runtime, so it's essentially that's the movie, and then Ghidorah stuff is the B plot, which is not a good idea. This movie has a lot of ideas I love, but then others I'm like, oh, I don't like this. So it kind of evens itself out. I have no hateful feelings towards this movie, but I can't love it either. So... Oh, that's right. They weren't space terrorists. They were normal terrorists. But they wanted to kill... What was it? It was... Because the queen was like a thing in the sky or whatever. And then she takes over the body of a real person. And that real person was like a political lady. And actual terrorists just wanted to kill the politician. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I'm like, I don't care about this. Why the hell are we spending so much time focused on this? I do not care. So, yeah, that's not the best film. Holy shit, we're already 46 minutes in. And we're only on movie 5. We're on movie 5. Okay, my streams are usually 2 hours. We'll see how long we can make this stream go. I'll try to go... Yeah, so... What purpose did... If that B-plot of the terrorists wanting to kill her mattered, and, like, it actually contributed to the story of, like, Ghidorah and Venus and Godzilla and all that, that's one thing. I still might not like it, but at least it means something. The terrorist plot contributes to nothing. It has absolutely nothing to do with the whole Ghidorah stuff. It's just shit to happen for the sake of happening, and it's so boring. So, I'm leaving it here. Invasion of Astro Monster. Oh, it's Godzilla and Rodan versus Ghidorah? But there's no Mothra? Man, it's just the same thing, but even worse. Wrong! So wrong. This is a great movie. Invasion of Astro Monster, this is an awesome... This is one of my favorite Showa films. Not enough to be the best, but Invasion of Astro Monster is a very fun Showa movie. It might be my favorite Phase 1 Showa film. Like I said, Phase 1 and Phase 2 for the show. This might be my favorite Phase 1 Godzilla film. I love this one. Because it's crazy how just making the human story better makes the whole movie just that much more fun. The monsters are always going to be fun, no matter what. Like, it's just that simple. Except, like, Raids Again, which is why this movie stinks. But... And it's not just the dancing. Like, yeah, he dances, cool. The idea for this movie's so cool. Aliens show up. And then they're like, guys, we have a problem on our planet. King Ghidorah is on our planet. Oh shit, we know who King Ghidorah is. We just watched the last movie. He's a pretty strong dude. He's destroying our planet. We need Godzilla and Rodan to stop him. Okay, we know they can do it. So, but why would we help them? They're aliens. And we know aliens are bad or something, I think. Actually, no, we don't know aliens are bad. The last time we saw aliens in a movie was the last movie. And that alien was helping us. It was like, guys, I'm what's the word? I'm a refugee from my planet. And I'm here to warn you guys that Ghidorah's coming. So far, aliens have a good track record. They helped us in the last movie. Now they're here again. Guys, we need your help this time. We are a very intelligent race, though. We have the cure to all human diseases. We have a cure that can cure all of your diseases on your planet. We would happily give it to you if you help us defeat King Ghidorah. Sure. What do you need? We need Godzilla and Rodan. Okay, cool. So how do we get them there exactly? Oh, simple. We'll take them there ourselves. We have these cool, like, teleporting spaceships. Oh, shit, no way. Then they get warped to a fucking planet where... Actually, hold on. The main characters are dope, too. The spacemen. And that's cool that they brought an American actor to be the other one. The dynamic between the two of them is good. They're not just inserts of, I'm spaceman number 1 and I am spaceman number 2. We are with Japan. Like, no. They have distinct personalities. The American guy's very snarky. And how Japanese people viewed Americans back then. So, it worked. They were entertaining to watch, talk to each other, and have quips, and interact with other people. They're fun to watch, for sure. They're entertaining to see on screen. When they're on screen, I'm not going, oh my god, just get to the monsters. They're fun. They're entertaining, which is good. When the Godzilla movie is still fun, even when the monsters aren't on screen, you've won. That's why I love Astro Monster. They get to the planet, Ghidorah's there, they kick his ass. We're like, okay, sick. Thank you so much, you two spacemen. We'll send you two back to your planet, and we will have your cures to your disease in like just a few minutes or whatever. And they're like, alright, sick, thanks. They get warped back to Earth. And they're like, okay, can we get those cures to the diseases now? You fool! We're fucking aliens, you idiots. Now we have Godzilla and Rodan. We're gonna fucking destroy your planet. What? But nope, Ghidorah's ours now. And now all three of them are attacking Earth. And it's like, well, shit. Like, this movie's awesome. And fucking Sexy Man USA gets to the lady alien. It's like, you fucking bitch. Tell me what's going on. And then they manage to break Godzilla and Rodan out of mind control. and then they fight Ghidorah, and then he leaves, and the aliens are gone. It's such a fun movie. I love Astro Monster. It's such a good movie. It's staying in this tier for sure. It's a great movie. I don't think it's one of the top tiers, though. It's just not that good, but man, is it fun. I think the things that hold it back are just that it's outdated. Some things could have just been done better. There's other things in it that I think still look great to this day, but there's other things where it's like, ooh, that's a bit choppy. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Speedray isn't here, isn't he? Okay, as long as Speedray isn't here, I should be safe. I should be safe from putting it here. He's not watching from a distance, is he? No? Oh my god, this shit tastes disgusting, but it keeps me awake. Monster Energy Zero Ultra. Oh shit, I just realized. It's Monster Zero. I'm drinking Monster Zero. Ugh. And I just finished talking about Monster Zero. Should I just have a Psychronize drinking ASMR? Or I'm just drinking Monster Zero, and I'm like... Ugh. Oh my fucking god, guys, that stuff tastes disgusting. I just threw up in my mouth a bit. Oh my fucking god. Don't drink this stuff, guys. It's nasty. Anyways. Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. It is still baffling as hell that Ebera gets his own movie. Like, you fucking kidding me? That's like... That's so weird. That Ebera gets his own movie. Like, just think about the entire roster. That's like if they made Godzilla vs. Manda. It's like, what the fuck? Why does this guy get a movie? Ebera getting his own film is so weird. But at the same time, that's awesome. Because Ebera's dope. Ebera's one of my favorite Showa kaiju for sure. He's just a big lobster. Yes, he is. Lobsters rule. Mothra's just a big Mothra's just a big moth. Ebera's a giant lobster. Kumanga is a giant spider. Magers is a giant mantis. Like, Gorosaurus is just a theropod dinosaur, even bigger. There are a lot of monsters that are just upscaled animal. Like, Ebera's not that boring. Yeah, fucking... You're right. I mentioned that earlier. Fucking Ebera gets a movie, but Rodan doesn't. There's a Godzilla vs. Ebera movie, but there's no Godzilla vs. Rodan. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's so weird. Anyways, onto the movie itself. I love the island setting. I love the red bamboo. I love Ebera being the guardian of the island, who never lets anything leave. I like Mothra being a side character, but at the same time, I hate that she does literally nothing the whole movie and then only shows up for 10 seconds at the end. I wish she did more in the film. Not too much, because she's just like a guest star appearance. She doesn't have to be too crucial, but I'd like it if she still did a bit more. Godzilla attacking the red bamboo base on this tropical island is fun as shit. The plot, like on paper, the plot for this movie sounds great. Execution, though, not the best. I don't like the main characters, really. Especially the Jar Jar Binks comic relief guy. I do not like him. He single-handedly makes the movie that much worse for me. I cannot tolerate when he's on screen. It is not good. The main characters are alright, I guess. Yeah, the parts where you can clearly tell that it was supposed to be King Kong make it a bit weird. Like the whole waking up with lightning and the liking the lady thing. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. It's kind of taking me out of the movie a little bit. Yeah, the movie has some issues for sure. They're pretty bad ones too. But I like a lot of the ideas in this movie. It's a fun film. So I'm putting it there. I'm gonna argue. Am I gonna argue this? Chat, should I argue this? Should I argue if it's better than the three-headed monster? Like, it's got some banger music too. And that first fight between Godzilla and Ebera is sick. Like, it's just unironically, it's not like silly fight, like, ooh, I'm gonna do that. Like, yeah, they play catch with the rock. That's very silly. That part's kind of funny. But then as soon as they stop playing catch with the rock, it's just full on like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Get the hell over here. Godzilla gets in the water, starts punching the shit out of Ebera. Ebera starts like smacking him. Godzilla does the atomic breath, flies back into the water, grabs him, yanks Godzilla underwater, and they start wrestling and flipping in the ocean. Like, that was a genuinely sick fight. Then the James Bond Hawaii Five-0 music. With just giant fucking lobster. Like, oh my god. It's... the concept of this movie, tropical island, rainstorm, humongous titan-sized lobster guarding the ocean, coming out of the water, destroying ships. That is the sexiest thing I've ever heard of. Like, ooh. But it's Ghidorah, though. And the main four. Ooh. I don't know. I might like it more than Ghidorah. Oh, but the people stink in both movies. Okay, I'm putting it higher than Ghidorah. I'm doing it. But if it's any consolation, Astro Monster's still way up here. It's like, yeah, I may think it's better than Three-Headed Monster, but Astro Monster's still all the way up here. So, yeah. This is a better Ghidorah movie for sure. I'm putting Sea Monster above Ghidorah. It's a fun movie. I just hate the people in it. But the environments that the people are in, like the islands, the prison with the natives, the island that Mothra's with all the people, the ocean itself, the red bamboo fortress. That stuff's cool. Anyways, Son of Godzilla. Okay. Guys, listen to me. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the stupidest thing ever. I promise. I'm not going to be like, okay, guys, hear me out. Best. Like, no. But listen to this. This movie is revered as one of the worst ones in the franchise. Correct? This is what people say, right? Son of Godzilla is one of the worst in the franchise. Like, they say that Revenge is definitely worse, but that Son of Godzilla is still pretty bad, right? Here's the thing, though. This is what I have to say about this movie. The story's good. The story for Son of Godzilla is good. The scientists go to an island where they test a weather machine. They're testing a cool weather balloon machine. And I don't think it was the weather machine itself. I think it was a different machine they made where they ended up making all the fauna on the island grow massively. So now there's like giant mantises and you don't know there's a giant spider until way later. But okay, that's a cool sci-fi Toho trope. They make a cool science machine and they messed up the animal life on the island. They find an egg. They see the mantises are attacking it. They go, what the hell? And Godzilla shows up. Oh shit, Godzilla's on this island. What's he doing? Why does he care? It hatches, and it's Godzilla's child. Kind of. It's the same species of him, at least. Godzilla kills all the mantises or whatever. And then Manila is left to die, essentially, until Godzilla's convinced, okay, fine, I'll take you in. And then the whole movie is this baby Godzilla trying to make this larger Godzilla like him and love him and do all this stuff. And Godzilla's just being so resentful the whole time. Like, I hate you. I'm not a father. I'm a fucking monster killer. I'm ruthless. I'm unforgiving. Okay, fine. Do you want me to do shit? Okay, come with me. I'm gonna do it in the hardest way possible. Start firing breath right away. But I don't know how to do it, or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. Okay. I can't do it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Steps on his tail. Okay, you did it. Now leave me the fuck alone. I'm going to sleep. Minya goes off on his own, trying to impress his dad. Like, oh, I can be like Godzilla too. I'm gonna do this shit. Hey, look, mantises. Oh, I'm gonna fight those guys. Giant fucking spider shows up. Whoa, my god. Hold on. Let me go back to the people in this story. Okay, you are gonna leave and you'll be back later. Sick. But, what was I gonna say? Main characters are the scientists. Like, oh shit, we messed up the animal life. Let's go see what else we did. Then they find out that there's natives on the island. And they're like, oh, look, they're talking. I don't think there was anything inherently bad with the human story. There was nothing dumb they did, nothing they got in the way with. It was mostly them just talking to the natives. Going, oh look, there's people on this island. They know about Minya and the animals here on this island. They're going to show us around. The human plot really helps you explore the island a bit more. And they don't do anything dumb or stupid. So it's like, okay, I can tolerate this. Gets to the point where Minya's fighting the spider, wraps him up, calling for help. Normally Godzilla wouldn't give a shit. He'd just be like, okay, whatever, I don't care. He's not my kid. If he gets eaten, I don't give a shit. He wakes up, though. Oh, shit! Get away from that thing that isn't my son, but I still kind of like it. Starts beating its ass. Then Kumanga starts winning. And What did they use the weather machine for? I think it was just so they couldn't get off the island. Like, come on, guys, we gotta get off the island. Oh, but wait, Godzilla's gonna fucking whatever. We can't have Godzilla leave the island, because then he can go attack Tokyo. They're like, okay, we gotta trap Godzilla on this island. We're gonna make it snow here so he hibernates. But we gotta do it now, while he's distracted and fighting Kumanga, so he doesn't just leave the island. So, they drop the weather balloon, and then they leave the island. Like, okay, good. Thankfully, Godzilla should be able to stay. He should stay on the island. And him and Minya are too busy fighting Kumanga. But as the movie's going on, you realize that they've been getting a little bit closer and closer and closer. Godzilla's being a lot more open to Minya. By the end of the movie, Minya finally learns how to fight. He fires his breath with Godzilla. They roast Kumanga alive. Like, yes, we did it! And they're like, oh shit. It's snowing. We gotta get out of here now. Alright, son, follow me. Or like, alright, kid, follow me. Minya just can't keep up. He's exhausted. He's too young. He's too weak. He can't bear the cold as much as Godzilla can, who's just walking off. Godzilla's not slowing down for him. He's like, hurry the fuck up or else we're not going to get off this island. And Minya's like, I can't move. I just can't do it. I'm too weak. The snow's too heavy. I'm too cold. I'm only a kid. I can't do this. Now, Godzilla, by the beginning of the movie Godzilla, he would have just left. He would have went, okay, you're on your own, kid. See you later. But he stops. He turns around. He knows damn well he could get off the island right now if he keeps going. But he comes back, picks up Minya, holds him, comforts him. You are my son. I'm not leaving you. And they're stuck on the island in hibernation. It is such a sweet movie of Godzilla learning to be a dad. It is an amazing movie. It is, in my opinion, one of the best Showa films. But Psychronize, we all hate it. Explain that. Why does everyone hate this movie? It's because the suits are disgusting. That's it. The suits are disgusting. I honest to God think that is the sole reason for why this movie is hated. Because the suits are unbelievably disgusting. I actually think that's the main reason why. Not just Minya. Like, people think Minya looks ugly. Yes. But also Godzilla. That is his worst suit ever. And then Minya's gross. Just change their designs. Don't change a single thing about the plot. Don't change a single thing. The plot is the exact same. Story, beginning, middle, end. They do the exact same stuff. But just make the suits look better. Like, use the Soshingeki suit from, like, 68 to 72. But if they used it then. And then make Minya look a bit better. Like, and keep the story the exact same way. I promise you, that movie would not be as hated as much as it is right now. It is a great movie. I think... yeah, I'm putting it higher than Astro Monster. I'm telling you right now. Out of context, if you just look at this picture, you go, what the hell? Why is it so high? It's like, okay. But when you just looked at it through my perspective, now that makes more sense. It is a great story, just with very ugly characters. They look very gross. Like, that is an admittable thing. Both Minya and Godzilla look disgusting in this movie. But it is amazing. I love this movie. Admittedly, the music's a bit wonky. It could have been better. I get the whole point as it's trying to be more lighthearted, but could have been better. If it did everything right, it would be up here, but it didn't. Music could have been better. Designs could have been way better. So, it's going here. We have now reached the end of phase 1 of the Showa era. Destroy all monsters. 1H plus of Psychronize doing mental gymnastics trying to justify why Son of Godzilla is peak. It's a good movie, guys. I promise you. I promise you this is a good movie. Actually watch it. Don't just listen to a movie reviewer. Actually watch it. And like, not just YouTube clips. Like, yes, there's admittedly not really any iconic fights in this movie. The enemies are just bugs. But the enemy didn't have to be anything crazy. The movie's not about him fighting an enemy. It's about him and his son. The monsters are just there as, like, punching bags for them to practice on, essentially. Like, the final monster of the movie is fucking Kumanga? Like, are you, really? It's not supposed to be a big threatening versus fight film. It's supposed to be a film about Godzilla and his kid. And having the monster be something that's like an inconvenience to Godzilla, but is something very dangerous to his son, that works. So, I think it's a great movie. But Destroy All Monsters... Destroy All Monsters is such a sad moment. In the sense that... This should have not only been one of the top 3 best movies in the entire franchise of Godzilla. It should have been there. Not only that, it should have been in the top 3 and not even close. It should have just been that much better than everything else. It should have been the greatest thing ever to come out of tokusatsu. This was supposed to be the shit. But, oh my god, is it not that good? It really isn't. The idea of aliens have mind-controlled all the monsters around the world. Okay, I like that part. That's how you get a reason for all the monsters to attack all the locations on Earth. They have the whole... There's the whole island that humanity made that has all the monsters locked up on an island. That's cool. That's a cool setup. This takes place in the future. We've captured all the monsters, but now the aliens broke them out, mind-controlled them. They're attacking every major location on Earth. Let us see that. Like, the most we see of Godzilla attacking New York is just him at the shore, blows up a building, that's it. I want to see him attack New York, full-on sequence. I want to see Mothra attack Beijing, like full ass, not just poke a train. I want to see her destroy the city. I want to see Gorosaurus in Paris attacking the place, not just one shot. I want to see all these monsters doing all these things that we're saying they are. It's exactly what they do in King of the Monsters, where they're like, Moscow, London, Washington, D.C., all under attack. We're not going to show you, though, because we don't have the money to do that. Don't do it if you're not going to show us! You describe the most awesome fucking thing ever, and then you just don't show us it at all. What the? They're attacking all the places on Earth. Can we see it? No, we gotta go here and do this stuff, I guess. The aliens... not the best. They're all lady aliens that turn into slugs or whatever when things get hot or something. I can't remember. Half of the monsters advertised to be in the movie don't even do shit in the film. Like, they're in it for 3 seconds and they just stand still and do nothing. Baragon does literally nothing. Varen does nothing. Manda was in the city attack scene, but then that was it. When they actually fight Ghidorah, only like 3 of them contribute. It's not that good. And then they hype it up like King Ghidorah versus everyone. It's like, oh, this could be a sick fight. It's not a fight. It's Ghidorah lands, and then he gets bullied. It's not a fight. There's no fight in this movie. It's just Ghidorah getting bullied and mauled to death. And then you're like, okay, the movie peaked. And then there's more movie, and it's boring. The aliens, we're still here. I don't care about you guys. You weren't cool or interesting. And for the whole movie, we had to watch these main characters try to like track you down and like, oh, okay, cool. Now we're gonna burn this thing with like our welding machine, and it's gonna take like 20 minutes of like music playing, like boop 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 boop. Oh no, we blew out the fuse, and we gotta build it again. Okay, boop 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 boop. They spent like 20 minutes trying to break that mind control machine. And I'm like, why the fuck are we watching this? Oh my god. It's a boring movie. I kind of want to put it in I don't like this. I have an idea. I'm going to put it in I do not like this, but I'm going to remove the capitalization, so it's not as harsh. I do not like this movie. Plus, there's going to be a lot of movies in between Destroy All Monsters and Raids Again. And again, they're going to be ranked within the tier. So right now, it looks like Destroy All Monsters is only slightly better than Raids Again. Trust me, this is way better than Raids Again. But it's still in I don't like this movie. I don't like Destroy All Monsters, which is so disappointing because it should have been up here. This movie should be up here. It is the coolest idea ever. It is Godzilla Infinity War. That should have been the coolest thing ever, but they just did not get it right. It was the birth of my favorite Showa suit ever, too. Soshingeki, I love that thing. 20 minutes with the laser pointer when they could have just ran it over and snapped it with... They could have just ran the fucking thing over. Yeah. Like... Oh my god. And the aliens are so boring. I will admit, the main characters that are in like the space rover and the ship, they're pretty entertaining. I'll give them that. Them as people are entertaining, but 90% of the shit they have to do is so boring. I don't like Destroy All Monsters. Godzilla's Revenge. It's definitely in one of these two for sure. But where? I think same issue with Son of Godzilla. This movie would be a lot more revered if Minya just looked better. Minya just being ugly definitely doesn't help because he's a big role in this movie. But I know the whole idea of like his parents are never around, he has to learn for himself because that's what economy in Japan was like and all that. Like, I get it. But that doesn't inherently mean I care or that it's fun or entertaining. But maybe it is just on its own, unironically. The idea of a kid. I think I'd like it more if it was... I think it is actual dreaming. Doesn't the kid just like fall asleep in the living room and take naps whenever he does this stuff? Because he has that machine and he like pretends he's like logging into like the Godzilla Minecraft server or whatever. But I think I'd like it more if it was just like every night he went to bed, like, good night, and that's when he goes into the Godzilla world. I'd like that, like if it was just dreams. And then how Minya kind of reflects him and all of Minya's problems like his problems. It's a fun idea for a kid's movie. And then he gets actually kidnapped by people that try to like cut him and kill him. And it's like, oh shit. Yeah, like his life sucks and he uses this Godzilla imagination to get out of that and also end up teaching himself some lessons. But I like Gabara, ironically. It might be another design thing where, like, he might just need to look a little bit better, but, like, the idea's there, and I think that's neat. The stock footage is bad for this movie, too. It's supposed to be like, Godzilla's fighting all these monsters on Monster Island. And the movie's called All Monsters Attack in Japan, and it's like... Yeah, I like Salunga way more than Gabara, for sure. Salunga is Gabara's design done way better. But the ideas for Gabara are still there, and they look really good on Gabara. It's just, he needs some fixes. Like the fact that he's built like a Teletubby. Like, come on, fix him up a bit. But there's still a lot of problems with the movie. A lot of things that are just not fun. But there's a lot of passion put into this movie, and I can tell. But at the same time, there's also a lot of cut corners. I don't like this movie, but I can actually watch it too. I'd rather watch this than Raids Again. And here's another fun fact for Godzilla's Revenge. This will help you guys. Just don't watch it in English. That alone changes the movie so much more for me. The voice acting for the dub is so unbelievably bad that it makes you hate the movie. Watch it in Japanese. The voices are so much more tolerable. They're so much more tolerable. It's like, okay, this is easier on my ears. That's Godzilla's son, Minya. And there's the monster. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck am I watching? But then you just watch in Japanese and it's just the kid's voice. So it's like, okay, I like this so much more now. Or if you watch it in English, and he's like, oh, hi there. Come over here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Oh, Godzilla. Yeah. Oh, that's Gabara. He's a real bully. You watch in Japanese and he just has a young kid's voice too. And it's like, oh shit. I like that. Like, whew. It's so much easier to watch if you watch it in Japanese. So much easier to watch. So I recommend watching the movie in Japanese with subtitles. It makes the movie way nicer. But again, I still don't like it, so it's here. But I'd rather watch it than Raids Again, for sure. At least I'll get something out of it. Ooh. Yeah, I'm putting it below Destroy All Monsters. Yeah, and I like that dynamic. I love how it's like a continuation of Son of Godzilla, where it's like, okay, you're my son. I'll raise you. Like, I know it's technically not canon, but still. It's something Godzilla would do. All right, kid, you're going to be my kid, and I'm going to teach you how to be the next king of the monsters. Step 1, know how to fight a monster. Minya's like, I can't do it. He's like, sure you can. Let's find someone that you can fight. He looks fun. And it's just Gabber, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna give me your lunch money. It's like, that your bully at school? Yeah. Okay, kid. Okay, son. First step. Punch him in the fucking mouth. I can't do it. Sure you can. And then, like, Minya can't do it, and then Gabber's like, your dad fucking stinks. I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. And then he starts bullying Minya, and Minya can't fight back, and Godzilla's like, okay, I think I need to step in. Hey, fuckhead. He just fucking judo throws Gabara. Get the fuck away from my son. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah. God, I'm getting so many notifications. What the heck? Oh, so when I try to text everyone earlier today, they don't answer. But now they respond when I'm streaming. I see how it is. Well, they're gonna have to wait another, I don't know, hour and a half. I'm gonna try to make this one last till 8. I have a package in the post office I have to pick up, and I'm pretty sure the post office closes at 9? Let me see. If it closes at 8... No, it closes at 9. Okay, so we'll be done at 8 today. So this will be a 3-hour stream. Okay. I think we can finish... We'll try and finish the Showa era today. We'll finish Showa for sure. Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Okay, now we're into the really good part of the Showa era. These 5 movies these 4 movies are some of my favorite Showa films, aside from the ones that I already said are my favorite Showa films. So leave me alone. Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Amazing movie. What's his name? Yoshimitsu Banno? Yes, Yoshimitsu Banno. Cool dude. Made a cool movie. I love this. He made the MonsterVerse happen. The movie itself, I like it. This is a great movie. It's definitely up here. Where in here, though? More Than You, for sure. More Than You. More Than You. Godzilla vs. Hedorah is an amazing movie. It's not this super mega peak super brained ultra film where it's like, oh, you guys just don't get it, you can't see past it. Like, no, it's a good movie, but it's not like, oh, it's such a deep film with a ton of me. It's not. It's Godzilla versus the pollution monster. Godzilla's atomic warfare. This is pollution. They're both human mistake monsters. That's a cool idea. And it's executed pretty well. Hedorah's pretty fucking freaky in this movie, and it only gets stronger and stronger. It's a great film. But I'm not putting it in the best, because I don't think it's up there. But I wouldn't be surprised if this stays at the top of B tier, because it's really good. Hedorah is terrifying every time he's on screen. Godzilla always feels like he's gonna lose every fight. He sees him at the fucking power plant, and Godzilla's just looking at this weird fucking frog thing, and he's like, what the hell is this? And it feels like in horror movies, when like a soldier or something sees like a tiny little creature, it's like, oh, what the hell is that? And like, it's very weak right now, but it's gonna fucking eat him, and it's just gonna start getting more deadly as the movie continues. That's what that scene felt like. It looked like Godzilla looking at the omen of what's going to become the worst thing in his life. And he's like, what the fuck is this thing? You shouldn't exist. And he fights it in the city. And it's like, ooh. It kicks the shit out of him. And then at the end of the movie, it's like hulking over him and destroying him. He punches it and his hand melts. It poops on his face and his eye gets seared. A thing a lot of people missed. There's 2 Hedorahs in this movie. A lot of people missed that. In the first fight, when he's swinging Hedorah around and that big chunk goes like flying or whatever, he just made a second Hedorah. And it goes off and does its own thing. And when Godzilla's fighting the flying form in the city, there's another Hedorah just like crawling around doing its shit. There's 2 Hedorahs for the majority of the movie. And you don't see it happen, but by the final act of the movie, they say that they've both merged, and now he's gigantic. And that's what you see fight at the end of the movie. There were 2 Hedorahs in the movie, and they fuse at the end, and they become one huge Hedorah that fights Godzilla. There's 2 of them in the movie, which is crazy. Because a lot of people don't even know that. And it's like, how do you not know that? That seems really important. Good movie. There's some parts. The kid is whatever. The doctor being in bed the whole damn film's kind of like, what the heck. There's a lot of cool stuff that I wish we could have seen better, like more scenes of Hedorah growing, like him attacking boats and shit. I kind of wanted to see that aside from just the animatic of it. I wanted to see Ghidorah eat all these fucking ships. But for the most part, it did what it wanted really well. One of the best Showa movies for sure. Hedorah is one of my favorite Showa monsters. Holy shit, do I need more monster? I'm feeling tired. I usually don't speak this much. Disgusting. I think the drink tastes fine. It's so strong and it tingles on my tongue. Godzilla vs. Gigan. This is a really weird movie for me. Why? Because Godzilla vs. Gigan has one of my favorite lineups for a movie ever. Godzilla and Anguirus versus Gigan and Ghidorah. That sounds awesome. The human story sounds awesome. There's an amusement park being made that's themed like Godzilla, but it's actually being run by an alien race of cockroaches that want to take over the planet by reviving Ghidorah, or by like bringing Ghidorah back and using this new alien Gigan to attack the place. And then Godzilla and Anguirus have to team up to fight him off. And the people in the movie are great. One of them's an artist. Her sister's a martial artist. And then they get kidnapped. And they find out that there's like this little small gang of people. Like this 2-people team. And they want to like break in and infiltrate. And they're all colorful, fun characters. I love that the sister kicks the shit out of the aliens and whatever. Corn dude. Corn guy. Like, the characters are fun. The whole plot of them having to break into the tower to free their friends and like stuff. That's so fun. But why doesn't it feel that? And the fights are good. Like Gigan fighting Godzilla and they destroy shit and they make everyone bleed. Everything's there. Why don't I like it as much as I should? It's a great movie. But I feel like it should be way higher up here. Everything on paper makes me go, this movie's amazing. But I actually watch it, and I'm like, why do I feel like falling asleep? I still don't know the answer to this, because everything about it sounds and looks great. Why do I not like it as much as I should? Why do I get so bored watching this movie? Everything is done right. Great people, great story, great roster, why don't I like it as much? Why am I not enticed into this movie? Is it because maybe it just takes too long to actually get to the monsters regardless of the story being good? I don't know. But there's something it's doing wrong. But at the same time, I still like it more than King Kong vs. Godzilla. I don't know. It's a very interesting movie for me. Godzilla vs. Megalon. Ooh. So, this is a movie that exists. This is quite the movie. In the sense that it is a very divided movie, but at the same time, this was a very revolutionary film for the franchise. I wish I could say that in a positive way, but I think this was a negatively revolutionary movie to Godzilla as a franchise. Most people go, okay, yeah, this movie was silly, but who cares? They just moved on, whatever. No. Ah! Arturia, don't scare me like that. Hi, we're talking about Godzilla vs. Megalon. We're gonna finish the Showa era today. But Godzilla vs. Megalon was definitely one of the most impactful films of the franchise, but I think in a bad way. We all know how big this movie made it in America. And I don't think there could have been a worse movie for that to happen than Godzilla vs. Megalon. I think that was the worst possible outcome, and that's what we got. Out of all the Showa films, Megalon was the one that people in America watched. It's Megalon! I don't think there could have been a worse pick for a Showa film to get popular in America. Because this was one of... I don't know. This movie is the sole reason. This movie is single-handedly the reason why everyone in the West hears the name Godzilla and goes, oh, you mean those stupid, silly rubber suit movies where they just jump around and flop and shit and do dumb stuff? It's single-handedly because of this one movie. Yeah, Godzilla's cheesy, campy, stupid. It's all because of this movie. I don't think we could have had a worse outcome. It's like, oh, Godzilla tail slide. Okay, cool. Now everyone thinks this is just what Godzilla is forever. There's Godzilla fans who think that the entire Showa era is just the Godzilla slide because of this movie. It's not. The Showa era, oh yeah, there's the Heisei era, which is the more serious, story-driven, dark Godzilla movies, and there's the Millennium era where they keep changing but they're still interesting, and then there's the Monsterverse, but the Showa era is the stupid, silly, goofy, Sally Soupy Saw era, where they do the funny, silly, jumpy stuff. No, that was just this movie. That was just this movie. Godzilla flew in this movie, sure. The rest of the fights in this movie are just normal-ass fights. Just normal kaiju fighting. But what's the other one? Dancing. Godzilla fights Ghidorah with Rodan on Planet X, and then they fight on the mountains or whatever at the end of the movie. That's just straight up normal kaiju fights. But he danced at the end of the space fight, so it's like, okay, he's silly that whole movie, right? No! What's the other one? Godzilla talks. Okay, yeah. What the hell? But this one is where he's super unbelievably goofy the whole film. And people just associate that with him for the entire franchise. Oh, they're all just cheesy, goofy, dumb, or whatever. No. What? This movie definitely negatively impacted the franchise. Especially now when we have stuff like, I'm gonna make a movie and embrace the Showa era. And it's like, you mean you're gonna embrace the 4 pictures people look at when they think of the Showa era. The Showa era isn't tail slide, fly, dance, and eating a tree. That's not the entire era. Those 4 still images, Godzilla sliding, Godzilla flying, Godzilla dancing, and Godzilla choking on a tree. That's not the Showa era. That's like 2% of the Showa era. Thankfully, I think Wingard embraced the other part of the Showa era too, the actually good part. But him saying that and having the entire community go, yeah, tail slide. Oh, I hope we see tail slide. It's like, why do you know? I don't like this movie. But at the same time, I love Jet Jaguar and Megalon. I think this is a case of like Space Godzilla where I fucking love the new characters added in the film. I fucking love Jet Jaguar and Megalon, but I don't like the movie itself. The character... Goro being a scientist, just building a robot in his lab is sick. The Seatopians rule. But, like, the bad guys trying to find him, it's like, oh, yeah, we're gonna get you. And then, like, the dynamic with him and his friend and that little kid, I don't like that. I really don't like it. I do not like it at all. I like it more than Raids Again. I like it more than Revenge. It's probably at the top of I do not like this. It's fun, but it's not good. It is not a good movie. You can say it's peak because it's dumb fun. This movie, I think, also started the idea of dumb fun in the franchise. And this is another disclaimer I'm going to make. Sort of like how I did the test of, I'm going to do a test. If you pass it, then whatever. This is another thing I'm going to take into consideration. One of my biggest pet peeves of this franchise is the term dumb fun. I hate when that's used positively. It's like, oh, come on, we can have dumb fun in a movie. I want my movie to be stupid because it's our stupid and it's Godzilla being stupid. No, I don't want him to be stupid. Do I want him to be fun? Yeah. I want a fun Godzilla movie for sure. I would love fun Godzilla movies. Give me more fun Godzilla, please. Don't give me dumb fun. That's not a thing. I want actual fun. Not, it's so stupid it's good. I just want it to be good and good. Like, where is it? Like, the Kiryu movies. Kiryu. This is a really fun movie. It's action-y fun. They do awesome, like, anime fighting shit. It's fun. But, oh, it's not super duper dark and serious and sad and whatever and creepy. So, like, just because it isn't dark, that doesn't mean it's dumb fun. This movie isn't stupid. It's just fun. It's not dumb fun. I don't want dumb fun. A movie can just be fun and fun. I don't want to have to say my movie is stupid to enjoy it. Like, yeah, it's stupid, but my standards are as low as they could possibly be. So when there's stupid movies, I'm just going to say it's dumb fun. No, I don't want dumb fun. Because I know just genuine, actual, normal fun is possible. I'd like that, please. Like the Mechagodzilla movie. This isn't dark. It's not serious. But it's not... There's like lasers and shit and pterodactyls and lasers and robots. It's fun. This movie's fun as shit. This movie fucking rules. But it's not dumb. This movie doesn't feel stupid or brainless. Or, I'm just gonna make it do whatever the fuck I want because I feel like it. No. It's fun without being dumb. I don't like dumb fun. If a movie's only merit is dumb fun, I'm not counting that because that's ridiculous. It needs to be genuine, authentic fun. Not, it's really stupid, but like the Showa era was stupid. And by the Showa era, I mean like 30 seconds out of the entire 15 movies were stupid. So it needs to be genuine fun for me to see it as value. Yeah. Trust me, next stream when we get to this movie, I'm gonna drool on this film. So yeah, this was a quote-unquote dumb fun movie. So it's not getting that much merit. Mechagodzilla. This was a great movie. But where am I putting it? I'm putting it here. I'm putting it here. I love the Mechagodzilla movie. Like I said, a lot of these late Showa films are going to get high ratings, except Megalon, because if we were just going by the characters themselves, like not Godzilla movies, just Godzilla monsters, Megalon and Jet would be way higher for sure. But I'm talking about the movie, which I think stinks. But the characters in it, fuck yeah, they're like top tiers. But the movie's staying down here. It stinks. Mechagodzilla, though. This was a great movie. We already talked about how swanky and dope the music is. One of the best designs in the franchise. One of the best characters in the franchise. It's an awesome movie. The plot works. It's not one of the best for sure. It's a little meh. But it works and it gets the job done without being too boring. Instead of space cockroaches, we have space monkeys now. The largest planet in the black hole. It's fun. Mechagodzilla's cool. The whole him in a suit trying to frame Godzilla kind of didn't really go anywhere. You'd think it would, I thought that would lead to a moment where Godzilla shows up to a city or whatever, and then everyone starts attacking him, and he's like, what did I do wrong? Oh, no. Like, Mechagodzilla pretending to be Godzilla didn't really go anywhere too much, aside from making the main characters confused for, like, maybe 5 minutes, and then that's it. The introduction of them fighting in the power plant, or the oil refinery, where just everything's covered in smoke and fire, was dope. King Caesar, he was alright. The fact that we spent so much time just trying to wake him up kind of stunk. That whole story from the human perspective for King Caesar, like all his build-up, was kind of boring. King Caesar was the coolest fucking character in the entire franchise for 40 seconds until he forgot how awesome he was, and then he became one of the most boring characters. Which... what the hell? King Caesar woke up, was one of the rawest characters in the entirety of Godzilla for like maybe 30-40 seconds. And then he just stopped and he became boring and weird. Like, King Caesar was kicking his ass! He was going fucking nuts on Mechagodzilla. And then he just went, wait, I can absorb beams? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't do that. And like, I'm strong? Pfft, there's no way I'm that strong. And Godzilla and Caesar having to team up against Mechagodzilla was fun as shit. Because he's still beating both of them. Anguirus is in the movie for a bit. I wish he was in it longer, but like, he served his purpose. It was alright. That was our goodbye to Anguirus until Final Wars, so... Oh shit, they talk about Gigan in this movie? I mean, I believe you, I just don't remember that. That's cool. It's like, hey, we asked for Gigan, but, I don't know, apparently this guy named Zone Fighter fucking killed him or something, so, I don't know. What? Man, that would have been funny if they mentioned how he fucking died in Zone Fighter. Anyways, great movie. Great movie. Okay. The last Showa era film. This is a personal favorite of mine. The Terror of Mechagodzilla. This is one of my favorite lineups for a movie ever. Favorite Godzilla movie ever. We just watched Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. This giant, super powerful robot clone of Godzilla that was so powerful, Godzilla needed a teammate. A legendary golem. Where this robot clone was so powerful, he needed an ancient golem god to help fight him. Mechagodzilla's been defeated, this golem can go rest. This robot is back now. And, well, okay, well, Godzilla just needs a teammate again, right? No. Godzilla's all on his own now, so not only should this already be unfair to him, because it's him fighting Mechagodzilla all on his own, but Mechagodzilla also has his own teammate now. It's 2v1, with that original robot being someone who is already more powerful than him. Now it's like, oh shit, Godzilla's fucked. Who's this other monster that I so speak of? Titanosaurus, the sexiest motherfucker in all of Showa. Such an unheard of monster. I love these three monsters' dynamic. Mechagodzilla being this terrifying face that Godzilla just looks at and goes, oh shit, I gotta kick your ass again, but all on my own. Time to get ready. But Titanosaurus shows up. It's like, you gotta fight me first. And Titanosaurus is definitely not what most people think he is. Most people look at Titanosaurus and just go, oh, he's just that throwaway monster who was in that movie that he fights or whatever. No. Titanosaurus is a fucking force to be reckoned with. Titanosaurus... I'd say he's definitely the most powerful monster in terms of raw muscle strength in the Showa era. I'm pretty sure he is the most physically powerful monster. Power Scalers probably have something else to say about that. I don't care what they have to say. But Titanosaurus throws hands in this movie. He tosses Godzilla around. And I don't just mean by his lip when he bites him. Like, he fucking kicks him over a mountain. He whacks him with his fucking head. Titanosaurus is brutal in this movie. This is a very big underdog movie for Godzilla. Like, Godzilla is the huge underdog in this movie. And it's awesome because the movie right before it, he needed a teammate to fight this guy. Now he's fighting that guy again all on his own with a teammate who is not just any ordinary monster. Titanosaurus is a really big ass threat. Like, Jesus Christ. And the fights with them are sick. When Godzilla and Titanosaurus fight, they just throw hands and it goes nuts. But let's get to the human part of the movie. Where unfortunately, it's not horrible. I don't know if it's bad, but it's nothing to write home about. Like, it's... I like all the debate about this movie in the chat, though. Don't worry, I'm reading it all. I love all of you. I'm reading it, don't worry. But it's not the best. Have you guys seen the Jirachi movie for Pokemon? Have you seen the Pokemon Jirachi movie? Before I was a Godzilla fan, I think Pokemon and Transformers were my favorite things in the world. And when I watched Terror of Mechagodzilla for the first time, in my head, I was like, wait a fucking minute. This feels a lot like the plot of the Jirachi movie. The main villain in the Jirachi movie is literally the Doctor in Terror of Mechagodzilla. Where the Doctor, I think, worked for Team No, did he work for Team Magma? Or he worked for some people, and he was like, guys, Groudon is real. Look, I can prove it to you. He's in this volcano. Like, he's this real creature that created land, and all the other scientists are just like, Doctor, you dumb motherfucker. Groudon's not real. He's like, okay, fuck you guys. I'm leaving. And he becomes like a show performer or whatever. I don't care. And he tries to prove that Groudon is real. And he's like, I'm going to bring Groudon here, and I'm going to punish everyone who thought I was wrong. And that's almost the exact same thing as the Doctor in Terror of Mechagodzilla. Guys, Titanosaurus is real. This is this real creature. And all the scientists are like, you dumbass. It's like, okay, fine. I hate all of you, and I'm going to find this monster, and I'm going to make it mine, and I'm going to kill all of you. But anyways, that part I did like. I like how the Doctor is someone trying to prove that this animal's real. But, here's the thing. I like a lot of the setup for the story in Terror of Mechagodzilla, but the present story sucks. Like, the whole backstory of the Doctor's daughter is, like, lethally injured, and he's trying to bring her back, and then the black hole aliens come back, and they're like, look, we hate Godzilla. He destroyed our robot. We want to take over the planet. We're evil aliens. We'll spare you, though, and make you one of us, though. Because you're very smart. We know that you can rebuild Mechagodzilla. And he's like, okay, but what's in it for me? Well, save your daughter. And, like, that's a really strong way to tie the Doctor with the aliens. But then you find out, it's like, oh, they're not to be trusted with. So, of course, they did something sketchy, and they linked his daughter to Mechagodzilla. And it's like, oh, shit. Then the human character, I don't even fucking remember what they are. They're like fucking... I don't know. I don't even remember what they were. I knew they were boring. That's why I can't remember what they are. They were not the best. Titanosaurus being mind control is kind of cool. I do kind of wish he was just a really wrathful, like, ethereal monster. This some, like, mythical beast from the ocean that punishes people, but the mind control thing works. Like, I know he's apparently supposed to be some peaceful creature, but I'm like, a pacifistic creature does not have giant claws and razor-sharp teeth and the ability to create hurricanes. Like, I don't know if I can believe that. The idea of a peaceful monster being forced to fight against its will, I like that idea. Just, I don't know if that works for Titanosaurus' design. I think he just works more as, I should just be an angry monster. But I'm putting it up here. But where? I definitely like it than the first MG movie. I think I like it more than Astro Monster. So this is a weird case. I don't know to put it in front of Son of Godzilla or behind it. My reasoning is that hypothetically, if these were both the same movie, like merged into one, it'd do everything right. What this one doesn't do right, this one does. And what this one doesn't do right, this one does. Great roster, great lineup, great action, bad story. Lineup's kind of weak in this movie. Action's not really there, but it's not supposed to be there to begin with. The setup and the story and the pacing and everything is great, though. This is if you like story more. This is if you just don't care and you want to watch monsters more. But I'm rating these movies as they are movies. I think... What do you guys think? Should I put it above or below SOG? It's either going here or here. It's not beating Hedorah for sure. But does it go above or below SOG? I really like this movie. Above because I'm biased. If this was a biased tier list that was all just subjective to my opinion, like, I know most of it is based on my thoughts, but like, if I didn't care, this movie would be completely different. I'd have stuff like the other stuff, but I'm thinking like critically about how these movies actually function. Where do I put this movie? Do I put it above or below? I don't want to rate it as which one do I like more. I want to rate it as which one do I actually think is better. Because there's a difference. There's a difference between me liking a movie more and actually thinking it's better. Like, I like this movie. I like Godzilla vs. Megalon. I like this movie. But I think it's really bad. I'm not going to give it a bunch of awesome credit because I like it. It's like, oh, I like this movie. That means it should be the best thing ever and everyone should love it. Like, no. It's a bad movie. I'm putting it down here. I don't like it. But I will watch it sometimes and laugh my ass off. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I love how I just said I like this movie and it's an I do not like this. I like this movie. Screenshot. I don't like this movie, but I think I like this movie, but in an objective way, I don't. I don't like this movie unironically. I enjoy it in an ironic sense, but when I'm genuinely thinking about the movie, I don't like it. Below. Ooh. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Well, this is going to be way longer than I thought it was going to be. Because I planned to just do a stream. Oh, guys, we're going to be doing a movie ranking. Okay. Well, Now we know it's going to be a lot more than just one stream, because we only did the Showa era in 3 hours. So, ooh. I didn't even get to the clickbait stuff. That was in the thumbnail. These two. Anyways. Yeah, we'll have to continue this next week on Wednesday. We'll do the Heisei era, and we'll see what else we can get. The Heisei era... Thankfully, the Showa era is the longest era, for sure. So maybe next stream we'll get more than this. Because we won't have to worry about focusing on all that, on naming all the lists, telling you guys what the stream's all about. And we just got over the largest era ever. Heisei and Millennium combined are like the same size as the Showa era, so who knows? We might be able to get all those done in a second stream, and then maybe a third stream we do all of Monsterverse and Reiwa. I don't know. But yeah, I think Heisei and Millennium... How much are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's almost the exact same size as Showa. Like, it is. Like... Showa alone, especially if you don't count 54, because like I said, 54 isn't really a Showa film, it's just its own movie, and then the Showa era begins with Raids again. So subtract 1, minus 1, feel free to like and subscribe, and donate. These jokes aren't easy to make. If you subtract 54 from the situation, now there are 14 Showa movies, which is the exact amount of movies there are in Heisei and Millennium. So I should be able to get both of these done next stream, which will be next week, same time. It is 8 o'clock. This has been a 3-hour stream. I have an assignment to do, I guess. I'll do that before midnight. And college has not been easy. I've mostly just been catching up with 2 classes, and then the other 2 classes, which are my significantly harder classes, I've just been kind of on pause with, because I just don't know how to do them right now. And thankfully, the professors are being a little forgiving and knowing that they're giving us a lot to handle. But at the same time, I can't just completely neglect it. I need to start doing it again at some point. I need to do it! It's not easy. It sucks. It's very mentally draining, but I gotta do it eventually. But with that, I gotta get going. I watched GXK on Monday. I'll leave my full... What's the thing I'm thinking of? My full... Not review, but like kind of. My feelings on the movie when we get to that stream and we talk about where to put it on the list. But I will let you know that my response was positive. For sure. I had a positive feeling. I have a positive viewpoint with GXK. I'll leave it at that. And we'll figure that out in like 2 weeks, because I don't stream often. I hope that once college is done, I can focus significantly more on this stuff. Because I'll just be at an apartment, just like working at a job or whatever. Then I come home, don't have to worry about college work or anything. I just come home, cool, I have money because I worked, and then just YouTube. So, yeah, probably 2 more of these. One for Heisei Millennium, and then one for Monsterverse Reiwa. And I gotta learn how to say bye better. I always say bye like 7 times, and I don't know how to finish it off. So I'm gonna do it now. I'll see you guys all next week. Hope you all take care. We'll do Heisei Millennium next time. Good night, everybody. Bye.